What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing the Peak Design Everyday Zip in 20 liters. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, and I'm going to tell you what I don't like so much about it. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So first things first, why exactly did I choose to buy this bag? Well, this bag, as it says in the name, is great for everyday carry. It's not so great if you're going to be traveling with all your gear, if you're going to a wedding shoot, let's say, and you're carrying multiple bodies and multiple lenses, or if you're going on a long trip. I knew that, I was totally okay with that. In this case, I wanted something I can use day to day, just traveling, working at cafes, and maybe taking a little bit of camera gear along the way. I've owned many Peak Design bags in the past. I had their original everyday backpack. I have multiple slings of theirs, and I really love them as a company. I love the thought they put into the design. I like the small details. I like the quality of the materials, and I love the lifetime warranty. If you're looking for a cheap bag, Peak Design is probably not the brand you're gonna choose, but if you want something that's gonna last you a long time and something that's quality, Peak Design can definitely be a great option. Starting off here, I got the bag in black. There are a few colors you can choose from, but I like black because black matches everything, and it's also a little more low-key, especially when I'm walking around a city with lots of expensive stuff in here. I don't really want to draw attention to myself or what's in my bag. I just want it to look like a normal backpack, which I would say this bag does. It doesn't really scream camera backpack to most people, I think. It's pretty low-key. It's got this very modern shape to it, which at first I liked, but then I felt like it was just a little too modern for my taste. That being said, I think this bag is the perfect size for everyday use. Again, this is the 20 liter. It's not so big that it's bulky or cumbersome, but it's big enough to carry a good amount of items. I'm sure this is not the first video you've seen on this bag, so I'm not going to go through every little thing in depth, but I do want to point out a few of my favorite things. As someone that's traveling around a busy city, hopping in and out of taxis and on and off of motorbikes, yeah, I live in Bangkok, and hopping on and off of motorbikes or motorcycles is a daily occurrence here. One of my absolute favorite things about this bag are the side handles, and this is super helpful for getting in and out of taxis or cars, and also when you get on the train, the subway, you can take the bag off of you so you're not bumping into everyone and just hold it easily. I love these handles. I feel like they are strong enough to hold this bag fully loaded, but they're also not so big that they become a nuisance when you're not actually using them. One big difference between this bag, the Everyday Zip, and the Everyday Backpack is that the Everyday Backpack has a flap design with a latch, whereas this one has one long zipper that goes all the way around the bag. And at first it took a little bit of getting used to, but after a few days, it was just second nature using it. And I really like the simplistic design. Flipping the bag around to this side, you've got fairly lightweight straps. I gotta be honest, I like this for everyday carry. I don't want giant bulky straps like I'm about to summit Mount Everest. I don't need that for walking around in a city. So I think these are pretty sufficient. Again, if the bag is fully loaded and it's really heavy, this could maybe not be so great, but for most everyday purposes, I think these are perfect. And then of course you've got the luggage pass-through. Makes it really easy if you're going through an airport, or if you've got a roller bag, you can throw this on, and you've got the magnet that keeps it closed when it's not in use. For me, I think it's really these small details that make or break a piece of equipment. And to me, my bag is one of my most important pieces of equipment because it's something that I'm using every day. I'm using it with every camera, with every setup. I'm always using my bag. And so those little details go a long way in the end. For example, the water bottle pockets on this bag have an elastic. So this means whether you're taking a big stainless steel water bottle, a small plastic water bottle, or if you're just taking a little camera accessory, you can slip it into this pocket and know that it's gonna be secure and it's not gonna fall out. I've seen a lot of other camera bags on the market have water bottle pockets that unzip or they unfold, but they don't have an elastic. So if you put something small in there, then there's a high chance it can fall out. One of the things I've been using a lot lately is this little mini tripod and handle from PGY Tech. I love this thing. It's really small and compact, and it fits perfectly into the side of this bag. And I noticed with some other camera bags, because this is so small and thin, the pocket is just super loose and this thing could just fall out really easily. And so I love that they added the elastic here to keep everything nice and snug. Coming into the inside of the bag now, the bag has one giant zipper that goes all the way around the outside. And to be honest, it took a little bit of getting used to, but after a few days, I really liked it because it makes it really easy to open up the bag really wide, be able to get what you need or adjust the inside. And when you're done, you can just take the zipper and whip it closed. I also like the organization they included in the bag. They've got this zipper pocket, the soft zipper pocket on the inside here. And then in the laptop compartment, they have another little pocket for organizing things. I love these elastic pockets on the inside, whether you've got earpods or a pen, pencil, something small that you don't want it to be flying all over the place. These little elastic pockets help keep everything in place. And that's a big difference from the version 1 of the everyday backpack. I used that one for like 4 years and I liked the bag, but one of the things I didn't like about it was that it didn't have much organization. In my opinion, it had kind of one big pocket and stuff would just kind of like roll around and fall out everywhere. So love it when they add little pieces of organization like this. And going along on that same thread, they added these side pockets that are open on the top. So when you open the top of the bag, you can drop things down into the side here. I think on the version 1 of the everyday backpack, it was a zipper and you had to unzip it in order to get things in and out. And that was kind of annoying, to be honest, because if you have something like a computer charger or something that you're pulling in and out of your bag very frequently, you don't want to have to unzip an inner compartment every time. So it's nice that they have this elastic slot in here that you can just drop it right into. So if you are considering this bag, there's a good chance you're a photographer or videographer and you're gonna put photo equipment in it. And although I've been talking about just kind of my everyday use for it, I do sometimes put my camera stuff in here. Coming into the side access, you can see I've got the origami dividers here. Normally what I do is actually remove this bottom one. So I have one shelf up here and then just a giant compartment down here, and I'll put like a jacket or like bulkier items in the bottom and the more delicate stuff in the top. On the side, there's more organization. And again, this is an improvement over the version 1 everyday backpack that had a long zipper here. And like I said before, there's this little stretchy magnet pocket at the top. So you can drop all of your frequently accessed items right in there. If you're wondering, I use a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and it definitely is a little tight for this bag. I think this bag could even fit a 15-inch. It definitely is a little tight, but it fits no problem. I think if the bag was fully loaded all the time, it would be a little more challenging. But because I'm not hauling so much stuff, it's really not an issue at all. I could take my computer, no problem. I know there are a ton of other ways to use this bag. They have these little loops here for accessory straps. They have a waist belt slot down here if you want more support. But for me, I'm mainly using it day to day to haul my computer, maybe a camera and a lens or two, maybe some vlogging stuff. So if there are 3 things that I really love about this bag, it would be the side handles and the top handle that makes it really easy to maneuver the bag when you're getting in and out of cars and moving around a city. It would be the giant opening in the top, which helps you load all kinds of big and bulky things into the bag very easily. And it would be the extra organization they've included that was definitely an improvement from the last generation of Peak Design backpacks. Now let's talk about what I don't love so much about this bag. So first up, and this is the thing that drives me so crazy, is that because of this bag's modern shape and the stiff shell, it is almost impossible to stand this bag up, especially when it's loaded with items. So if I go to a cafe or a coffee shop and I put my bag down on the chair next to me, it 100% is just gonna fall over. And even if I do this balancing act on a chair leg or something, I find it's just very hard to keep this bag standing up straight, which when you're working and you wanna go in and out of the bag is kind of annoying. Not that the bag has to be completely flat on the bottom and stand on its own, but I find that this bag in particular is very temperamental when it comes to balancing it so it stands up straight. Problem number 2 I have with this bag is just that although it kind of has this cool modern look, for me, I don't find it's very stylish at all. I guess it depends a little bit on where you live and what your own personal style is, but for me, I think it just looks a little too modern, and I think there are a lot of other bags out there that have better style to them. And the last thing that I really don't like about this bag is that the storage is not expandable. And living in a city where I'm on foot a lot, I'm going to stores and buying groceries, I'm walking home, having expandable storage is so helpful. Although the top compartment is very big and you can remove these dividers to make the interior much bigger, at the end of the day, you're stuck with this 20 liters and you can't get any more out of it. Whereas with the Peak Design everyday bags that have the flaps or some other bags like the Wandered Provoke again, they have expandable storage in the top so you can make the bag bigger if you need it. And I find that to be very, very helpful in a lot of situations. With this bag, if I go to the store and I buy a ton of stuff, or if I buy something that's just a little too big, if it doesn't fit when it zips, I'm pretty much out of luck and I either gotta carry it another way or with another bag. Although it's not a huge problem, it's just not the most ideal if you're living in a city and you're walking around a lot on foot. So what do I think about this bag? Am I going to continue using it in my everyday life? Well, like I said, there are a lot of great things about this bag. I do like it, but I don't love it. After using it for a few weeks, I decided to switch it up and go with the Wandered Provoke Light. This is a 15-liter bag that is very similar in a lot of ways to the Peak Design Everyday Zip, with the main differences being that it has a roll top design. And for me, I think this bag just aesthetically looks a lot better. It's also much thinner in my opinion, and it's easier to stand up straight. For me, this has been working out great. I'm gonna do a whole video on this bag and why I like it. If you wanna see that video as well as other reviews on bags and gear, hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.